Good morning, dear everybody. My name is Maria Isabel Fuentes, and this is my final exam for testing and evaluation in ELT. According to what we have to do, I want to begin with an introduction. I would like to say that evaluation is a word that every teacher should understand because, it's the tool that we have to see if what we're doing is right or wrong and if students are getting what we want them to know. As you know, evaluation has been misused for a lot of time, and according to the social era we were using it in a determinate way. Evaluation began in China long ago, right? And they began evaluating the people who would be the best ones to guide, to be doctors, because they have a conception of the world that's very different to what we get. And we got it wrong here, and then we used the evaluation in a way that it was apparently good for us, but it was not the best one. So right now, time has changed. We have a lot of theory written. We have a lot of projects that have been done where they explain you that, evaluation is a tool that a teacher should use in a in a good way. For this work, the last work we chose high school students from rural areas. We didn't choose a specific grade. And I would like to focus these activities on 6th grade from rural areas. So I have to think about many aspects from this group. As we know, Colombia faces a very important period right now because of the peace treaties that were made, and right now the post-conflict. Colombia has an the farms where people can go and work, but they're not doing it because it's not safe for them. So I think education has a big part here right now. And as you know, 6th graders in rural areas, they do not have a good enough education level. And the activities I planned were thought for them to be easy based on an A1 level, thinking that they could develop these activities to begin their English usage. So I made easy activities for them, thinking about the rural part, and they don't have real English teachers there. So, and I also didn't use materials that are hard to use. The only thing I did was a listening, which in case the teacher doesn't have the tool to do it as a computer, the teacher can do it himself. But I think I chose this activity the activities I chose, they're connected to each other. The big topic is vocabulary, school vocabulary, and it's really easy and performable anywhere. 6th grade children, we have to think about rural areas. We have to think that sometimes they are not able to going to the school. The teachers, there is one teacher for a whole school. Sometimes, not always, but most times. So these are kids that have to work on their family's farms or the lands they live. They are kids who may not eat very well, may not have enough water. So we have to think about all of this. First of all, I plan a vocabulary activity, which is the teacher will show them some images. Yeah, in case you don't have the right flashcards, you just can go ahead and paint them. And the flashcards are going to be related to school vocabulary, such as pencil case, and so on, yeah? Which will have the image. Then they will listen and point to the image, which is the first thing you normally do. Listen and point. Recognize what that word is. Oh, that's a pencil case. Oh, it's a cartuchera, right? In my brain, right? And then when they recognize the relation between them, they will be they will have to complete a worksheet. So the teacher will have to write the words along with the time when he shows the flashcards, and so that the children recognize the words and the sound and the thing. And at the end, they will be given a worksheet where they will have to find the pictures, and they will have to write the right word from each picture. The first part of this activity will be evaluated in a formative way. The teacher will check students' pronunciation, and he will check that they are relating the right image to the right word and the right pronunciation. And the second part will be evaluated on a rubric, which I want you to see here. There are two rubrics where you have the criteria: recognizes the word and relates it to its image, and doesn't recognize the word and relates it and doesn't relate it to its image. It's the other way around. I'm going to change that in the presentation. So if he recognizes, well, the grade is 5 because it's perfect. If he doesn't, it's a 1. He just didn't. And then we have a rubric here, which is for the second part. So you can either not recognize the word and not recognize how to spell it. That's 1. Both of them, you didn't get it. Or you recognize the word and recognize how to spell it, but you have a few mistakes. So you can recognize the word and not spell it very well. Yeah, that's 2.5. And recognizes the word and recognizes how to spell it. That's 5. Yeah. So if you have the rubric, you can say, look, you recognize the word, but you didn't spell it well, so you have a 2.5. So that it's easy for them to know how did you assess them. During the whole activities, you should be thinking about formative assessment because, well, we always do that. I think I try to do that every class and each part of the class. Always, 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 because you are checking their understanding. So you're assessing the class the whole time. Then we will go to the speaking skills vocabulary. We will use the same vocabulary, and they will have to relate these words to phrases. They will only use simple verbs such as study and have. As for example, I study at school, I have a pencil case, I have colors. This part of the activity will be spoken. I think the teacher will firstly show them how to do it. And first person singular. We don't need to go farther here because we're beginning. They will have to talk about their own situation. So they can say, I have one pen, I have one pencil, I have one notebook. And they will have to use appropriate grammar structures. We know subject, verb, complement. This will also have a rubric here, which is the one that you see here. So, then we go to the listening skills activity, which if you check here is a Buckaroo link. I pasted it there. You can go on and click on it and find it. I'm going to upload it to the work. It's super easy. It's like pencil case, book. So they will listen to the recording 3 times and they will write. We don't need any worksheet here because if we think in rural areas, it might be hard to go get the copy, get the print, whatever, yeah? So they will just listen to the thing, and as I told you, it's an easy listening activity which the teacher can perform himself at the classroom with no things. I can just go ahead and, I don't know, think about 10 things we just saw from vocabulary, well, 9, and say, notebook, yeah, 3 times. And once they have the words written, they will write the word. And after they have they written and you check that they're good, that they are the thing that you said, they will draw the thing and color the object. This will be a summative assessment in which the students will have to write the right word and the teacher will check and draw the correct object. Not like if I say pencil case, you don't draw a pencil, yeah? And this activity we will also assess writing. Yeah, so it's listening and writing. Because we're going to check that they're spelling well. The writing activities. So at the end, the students will have to look at the words they wrote on the listening activity and write some sentences using the words they listened to. Excuse me, I'm going to change something here. Listening activity and write sentences using the words they listened to. So as they already have been working on, I have a pencil, I have, yeah, this should be easy. They will use the appropriate vocabulary on sentences that have proper grammar structures. So I think I thought about easy activities. Sometimes we elaborate very big activities. And well, I'm going to the last one and then I'll go to the conclusion, sorry. And the reading one is students will change notebooks. After they do the writing, I have a pencil, they will change their notebooks with another partner and they will read what the others say, yeah? So they will have to pronounce properly and read fluently. This will happen after we get the appropriate feedback and after the sentences are correct. These are my references. Well, I think I want to conclude saying that it's very important to have clear evaluation and assessment. Understand that each thing works for a certain context. As we saw on the last word, I cannot give a proficiency test to a person who lives in a rural area and has never heard anything about English. Or I can't evaluate something I have not explained. So this activity also made me think about how would I evaluate children who are not from the same level I work with, because I work at the Cambridge school and we have everything here. We have video beams, we have internet, we have computers, we have everything we want. But on a rural area, we may not have all of those goods we have here. So evaluation is a whole process. It's a backbone. It's the backbone of the whole teaching matter. So I invite you all to be very careful to take care on the different things that you have to pay attention to when you are thinking about assessment and evaluation. Think about the context. Think about what you want to evaluate. Think about how you want to evaluate. Think, do you want to assess? Do I want it to be formative or summative? All of those aspects are super important. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed my video.